Life is like a game, they say. Such statements almost seem to trivialize the magnitude of the reverence that we place upon this thing called life. After all, life is serious business. I have always disliked that statement and would stop short of being offended when I heard it said. But the more I experience life, I am forced to affirm that this saying is true. Life is like a game. It is not a game because, unlike Super Mario, you don't have 3 lives and 1 extra for being good. This, however, does not negate its likeness to a game. I have observed how things always seem to occur in cycles and how everyone seems to go through some kind of challenge at a very comparable season on their journey through life. I have seen opportunity knock and how it was wooed or repelled by those it sought. I have sat with rich men and observed the manner in which they dealt with people and circumstances that came their way. I have closely rubbed shoulders with the poor and noted how they reacted to situations that they found themselves in. In all this, I could see a pattern, and it almost seemed to me like there was a secret script that was being followed and acted out by different categories of people. This made me conclude that life must really be like a game, as everyone seemed to be playing by a set of rules they knew about, or maybe they just merely followed in the steps of others they saw playing the game. Most of us have learned life merely by observing and copying the people that were examples to us. This reminds me of the story of the lady who always cut off the ends of her spare ribs, throw them away, and then place the main piece in the oven to grill it. Her husband then asked her one day, "Honey, why do you throw away one part of the ribs? They seem perfectly fine to me." She answered, "I don't know. My mother always made hers that way." They then decided to ask her mom why she made her ribs that way. She replied, "I don't know. My mother used to make them that way." They eventually met up with Grandma and asked the same question, to which Grandma replied, "When I got my first oven many years ago, there wasn't enough space to fit in the width of the ribs, so I had to cut off the ends of it and get rid of the other bits." It is so important that our understanding of life is not only caught by what we have observed, but we should be taught by those we have observed. Sometimes what we call a curse or bad luck, typified by the constant failure in one's endeavors, is not a bad omen cast upon them, but instead could be the result of unproductive and non-progressive behavior patterns observed from those who nurtured them, who also learned the same from those who nurtured them, and so on and so forth, going down their ancestral line. If life is like a game, then that means there must be a set of rules by which this game should be played, such that we get the best out of it and perhaps even become winners. All games have things in common, and if you understand the principles of playing one game, it would make it easier for you to understand the principles that govern every other game. A few things that are common to games are the aim of the game, purpose, the rules, the enforcers of the rules, umpires, the tools and techniques of the game, the players, the scores, the supporters or fans, the opponents. I have learned to apply these principles to better understand my journey through life.